invite Mr. Sherap Therchin to take the floor for 5 minutes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and the committee members. I deeply appreciate this opportunity to speak with you today on the important matter of transnational repression. I'm one of the 20 Canadians sanctioned by the government of China on December 21st, 2024. While we wear this sanction as a badge of honor and as a recognition to our commitment to human rights and justice, it does come with real and lasting consequences. We have been deemed as a threat to China's national security, sovereignty, and development interests by the Chinese Foreign Ministry and almost all major Chinese state media. These sanctions are not merely symbolic. Since being sanctioned, our daily life has become more difficult, more fearful, and more restrictive. I receive frequent phishing emails. Our website has been infected with the malware. We have received threatening online comments from anonymous accounts. We have had to install VPNs on our phones and devices for basic security, but even that comes at a cost, slowing down other applications and constantly reminding us that we are living under threat. These are not abstract concerns. They affect how we work, how we communicate, and live. Our international travel has also become increasingly complicated. We have to think carefully about where we go, who we speak to, and what risk we may face in countries that are friendly to China. We have to watch our backs, be cautious with strangers, and remain constantly alert. At the same time, many of us carry deep concern for our loved ones inside Tibet or in countries with close ties to China, knowing that these sanctions can be weaponized at any moment. Despite our determination not to be deterred in our advocacy, this reality creates fear. It indirectly and subconsciously curtails our sense of freedom and at times even our courage to speak as openly as we otherwise would. The Canadian government has been supportive during this difficult time, extending solidarity, listening to our concern, holding consultation, providing safety workshop. We're grateful for that support. But the fact remains that being sanctioned by one of the world's most powerful authoritarian regimes, known for silencing dissent both inside and outside its borders, changes a person's life. Despite our best efforts to remain strong and continue our work, our lives have never been the same. We're constantly securing our digital tools, email, social media, websites, and living with a level of vigilance that no Canadian should have to accept. To understand the true meaning of being sanctioned by China, we must first recognize the broader threat posed by People's Republic of China. This is not simply about one government disagreeing with the criticism. It is about a state with a documented record of foreign interference, cyber aggression, transnational repression, and intimidation. The final report of the public inquiry into foreign interference found that PRC is the most active perpetrator of foreign interference targeting Canada's democratic institution. The recent report, 2026, from Canada's National Cyber Threat Assessment also states that PRC poses the most sophisticated and active state cyber threat to Canada today. It notes that China conducts cyber operation against Canadian interests to advance political and commercial objectives, including espionage, intellectual property theft, malign influence, and transnational repression. China's blatant disregard for freedom of speech has gone beyond its own citizen. It has gone transnational now. The threat is already here in Canada. Canadians remember the arbitrary detention of Michael Kubrick and Michael Spavor for nearly 3 years. In a similar case, which many of we might have forgotten, in 2014, Canadians Kevin and Julia Garrett were detained after the arrest of Chinese national and Canadian permanent resident Sue Bin in Canada on charges related to the theft of sensitive U.S. military technology. Canadian citizen of Uyghur origin Hussein Salil has been imprisoned in China since 2006. China's own laws also help explain why these risks cannot be dismissed. Article 14 of China's National Intelligence Law clearly states that national intelligence institutions may require relevant organs, organizations, and citizens to provide necessary support, assistance, and operation. In other words, the obligation to assist the state's intelligence work is written directly into Chinese law. While we seek to diversify our trade and investment, we should not let the arbitrary arrests, arbitrary sanction of Canadian citizens be normalized. These incidents should not be treated as isolated events. We can continue to push for strengthened trade ties with the countries around the world, including China, while standing firm on international law, democratic values, without fear of retaliation and transnational repression. We must also, while we pursue trade building, we must build a solid guardrails, as mentioned by the government in last year, including transparency in the supply chain linked to China, an unrestricted and independent fact-finding mission to China, and reciprocal access to Tibet and East Turkestan. I'm adding reciprocal access here because the announcement of the visa-free access for Canadians to visit China, after the announcement, some of the Tibetan origin Canadian bought tickets and tried to visit Tibet and mainland China, but they were sent back to Canada without giving them any clear reasons. Thank you.